Hey guys, it's Justin. This is a pro tip helping you install a billet rack on an X3. Not all X3 chassis are straight. When the rack bolts up to its factory mounts, they can be offset or even crooked and twisted. This extra twist and offset can put our rack in a bind and give you a heavy steering wheel feel. Again, not all of these are the same, so you want to go through the process that I'm about to line out to have you check your car and make sure that it's going to be straight or shim it with the shims that we supply in the kit. Step 1, with the rack completely installed in the car, jack the front of the car up so that the tires are off the ground. Feel the resistance in the steering wheel with the power steering and the key off. This resistance, we're going to check again after we loosen up the right side. Now, loosen up both bolts on the passenger side so that the rack becomes relaxed on just the passenger side. Leave the driver's side hardware tight. Go back to the steering wheel and feel the resistance again. If that resistance did not change and it's the same both ways, your chassis does not have any twist and you can tighten up those two passenger bolts and you're done. But if you grab the wheel after that hardware is loose and all of a sudden it's easier to move, your chassis has twist in it and it's going to require a shim kit to keep that nice smooth feel in the steering. Examine the passenger side. You'll find a gap between the factory frame mount and the rack itself. We want to use our shim kit with multiple size shims to fit this gap perfectly. You don't want to wedge these in and cause the rack to get farther off the frame. You don't want to put them in, have them loose, causing you to tighten the rack to tighten up that gap either. You want a perfect fit. Our shim kit comes with multiple sizes of shims so that you can mix and match these sizes to create exactly the gap you need. There are 4 different sizes: 30 thousandths, 60 thousandths, 90, and 120 thousandths. These shims are designed to fill exactly the gap you have. The gap between the rack and the frame mount can also be twisted. You could easily have more shims on the top and less shims on the bottom. Whatever the gap is, when the hardware is loose, you want to fill that gap with this shim kit so there's no load on the rack. Once you've found the right shim combination to fill the gap that you have in your car, install the hardware, tighten the hardware, and go back and check the steering wheel feel after the system is tight. If you've shimmed it correctly, you should be able to have the same smooth feel in the steering wheel that you had when the passenger side was loose. With the shims done correctly and the hardware tightened up, you're good to go. This is your pro tip to allow you to have the best steering wheel feel possible with our billet rack.